One question to increase your motivation today. So good morning. If you're coming in, give me a hello. If you're on replay, drop a replay. How is it? Monday, 27th February, nearly March. But I've got one question today to help you kickstart that motivation, which is this. And I'll write this down. Grab a pen, Fruci Fit one if you've got one. What happens 5 years from now? That's what we call the ghost of Christmas future. What happens 5 years from now if you don't get a handle on this habit that you want to change and nothing changes? What happens 5 years from now if nothing changes and you carry on the same? And the reason we ask this question, often in our kickstarts, often in our Q&As, often in the accountability challenge, is because it's a reminder that tomorrow's not always easier. It's always assumed that tomorrow's easier, but there's always going to be something else. And little do we know that some things could be getting a little bit harder day by day. It's a little bit harder to start again. And remember, we can start with the smallest step. We know that. Actually, what you do today, you're more likely to do tomorrow. So think about that when you think that there's no point in doing a 1 minute workout, no point in doing a 5 minute workout. But when it comes back to that question, what happens 5 years from now if nothing changes? That can be quite scary for a lot of people, but it's a nice way, in a roundabout way, of looking at almost engaging our prefrontal cortex a bit more rather than this vicious cycle that we're on, like get up, survive, go again, I'll prioritize my health another day. And, it's only this past week that we've seen a few messages from some of the ladies like, well, didn't expect exercise and a few dietary changes to change my blood sugar levels. My blood sugar levels have been in the tens, now they're in the single digits. Now they're normal. This is amazing, quite a quick difference. That's a month. And, if you'd have considered 5 years from now, a few months ago, it might have been I'll be there, or my diabetes will be out of control, my joints will ache even more, all of these things. And it's wow, we can change that quite quickly. And that's the exciting thing about it. And it's almost a question of how long are we willing to tolerate the way things are right now. And we almost can't expect to get the results, and this sounds a bit harsh, but from the work we didn't do. And remember, when it comes to this, it's not that you have to make huge changes straight away. And actually, if you feel like you've got a mountain to climb, I always say this is actually a good thing, because you only need to pick one thing, pick the smallest mountain to change first. It could be as simple as increasing your activity today, increasing your step count by 10%, by 20% today. That's significant, because actually going from more sedentary to a little bit more active is actually where the biggest benefits of exercise come from. When you think about exercise being so beneficial, the majority of the benefits are from the first parts that you do. Like when you're looking at an athlete going, right, instead of running a half marathon this year, I'm going to go for a marathon. The difference in that, the benefits they get from that, well, there could actually be drawbacks in that, but the benefits in that are minimal. You go from someone who's doing nothing to walking 5K, getting their 10,000 steps in. That is significant. And then what a difference that could make 5 years from now. It's someone who's never done resistance exercise. And we see this a lot of Fruci Fit, because resistance exercise can have such a profound effect on physique, body shape, change, tone, strength, joints, getting up and down from the floor, mobility. And, someone who says to me, oh, this sounds really odd, but when someone says to me, I've never done resistance exercise before, I go, oh, you are in for a great ride, because your muscles are going to respond so well. And you'll get what we call kind of beginner's progress, where you get neuromuscular adaptations as well, where you start feeling the muscle a little bit more. You get that out of the way. You start increasing your strength then, and so on and so forth. So, roundabout way, go back to that question. What happens 5 years from now if you don't get a handle on this and nothing changes? I'd write that down and use that as a bit of motivation for today to get started, and then set yourself one thing that you do for today, just for today. It doesn't have to be forever, because let's face it, you could be a different person tomorrow, next week, next month. This is what I keep saying to people. Don't worry about whether you can stick to it in a month. You might be a different person, because what you do today, you're more likely to do tomorrow. So I hope that helps. Any questions, do let me know, and I will see you soon. Take care.